I don't know, man. Well, I don't know what they have to do to win a game at this point.
You're Locked On Sharks, your daily podcast on the San Jose Sharks, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello, welcome to Locked On Sharks, the premier hockey podcast covering your favorite lovable losers in the Bay Area. My name is JD Young, caretaker at the Reef, also the co-host of Locked On NHL. I want to thank you for making Locked On Sharks your first listen. Proudly part of the Locked On Network, we cover your team every day. And if you want to be an everydayer, all you have to do, just follow along wherever you get podcasts. And of course, you can watch on YouTube as well. And tonight we'll be breaking down the Sharks' 4-3 loss to the New York Islanders, a game where the Sharks absolutely dominated the Islanders, but because they're lovable losers, still cannot find a way to get that first win of the season. So we'll be talking about that. We'll talk about Michael Misa's first NHL point, Sam Dickinson's bounce-back performance within the same game, why Nick Leddy needs to be get out of here, and we'll dig into the numbers behind this game as, again, the Sharks absolutely dominate the Isles, but cannot find a way to secure that first win. Before we get to all that, do want to let you guys know that today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, you can download the FanDuel app by visiting FanDuel.com and win $300 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. The Sharks did this. I honestly, I really thought the Sharks were going to win tonight. Like, truly believe the Sharks were going to win tonight, especially after the way they played against the Penguins. You saw them come out and just from the get-go, this team was the better team tonight. But as we've seen all season, just they cannot get out of their own way at times. Right. And it's every game the Sharks just have 5 minutes where they just cannot get out of their own way. And this time it was late in the first period where, again, the Sharks just dominating the Isles. Like shots on goal in the first period were 16-8. But after the first period, it's 3-2. Because the Sharks just cannot get out of their own way at times. The Sharks deserve to win tonight. Like, they were the better team. They took it to the they took it to the Islanders. They controlled play. They were doing, like, all the lines were doing positive things. The sleepover line was awesome tonight. Like, you saw them just do so many good things, but this team is just not a full 60-minute team, right? And it's about 5 minutes a game. And for 5 minutes, the Sharks just can't do anything right. And we saw it with, you get a shorthanded goal by Colin Graff to open up the scoring, right? And that's where, like, you feel like the penalty kills just got really locked in right there. But Horvat gets left over by Nick Leddy, who just kind of controller dies on him. And I mean, granted, like, Horvat, that's a great shot. Like, Askey didn't have much of a chance. Like, beautiful shot from Horvat, right? Then Sam Dickinson, who had a great night other than this one moment, gets put, like, he tries a blind pass, and instead of just kind of rimming it up at the wall or eating it or whatever, just basically doing anything else, blind pass, absolute pizza. Askarov, no chance there. Then the Sharks get a power play. Sam Dickinson gets called for a questionable holding there. And the calls tonight were very soft calls tonight, all around, like both sides. Refs made sure everybody got soft calls. But, and again, like, that goal there just can't happen. And the third goal in the first period where Askarov is playing well. You just got to ice the puck there. You cannot let them just come in and jam. And yes, does the defense need to come in and make sure they collapse better? 100%. But Askarov cannot let that go in, especially with the season that he has had to start this year. You can't let that goal in. And credit to the Sharks. So they continue to play hard. They probably should have deserved a better win, but as we've seen, right, it feels like it's just for 5 minutes, the Sharks just cannot get out of their own way. And that was the end of the first period tonight, where they just could not get out of their own way. But plenty of positives to still take away. Like, again, the Sharks team was dominant. When we get into the numbers, you'll see how dominant this team was tonight. The sleepover line getting put back together, right, with Celebrini, Tofolli, and Will Smith. That line was awesome all night. And Celebrini was a guy on a mission tonight to try to get the Sharks their first win. Gets the goal, in the third period to get it within one, and had plenty of opportunities. Got robbed by Sorokin at some, as well. Just, he was a man on the mission. And I think any of that, like, flow start business, we can clearly put to bed as Celebrini is really come on over the past couple of games here, and tonight just was all over the ice. Every time he was out there, you noticed Celebrini was out there doing positive things, whether it's in the defensive zone, making great plays there. His offensive touches, just commanding the puck and commanding presence and making life easier. I thought Will Smith had one of his better games as well tonight. No coincidence, right? You put Smith and Celebrini back together, and look what happens. The Sharks have a great performance tonight, and Tofolli, doing Tofolli things on that line as well. Just that line, like, they could have scored 2 or 3 goals tonight easily, just the way they were playing. And Tofolli hits the crossbar at one point. Celebrini gets robbed. Smith does need to shoot some more. He had plenty of opportunities to shoot, and especially in a game like this where you are getting so many chances. And I get Smith, the playmaker, is always there. And not, he has made some ridiculous plays, but Will Smith's got a hell of a shot, and he needs to continue to lean into that hell of a shot because this team, they need to find a way to score more goals. I really thought they were going to win tonight. So before we get to we'll talk about the blue line, talk about, Nick Leddy. We'll dig into Sam Dickinson some more. Congrats to Michael Misa getting his first NHL assist, first NHL point. Beautiful play right there. And that whole play starts with Sam Dickinson, who, basically shags a line drive, gets the puck down, gets it deep, where Graf makes a great play over to Misa, and then Misa finds Gaudette on a beautiful, just pass there, and Gaudette buries it. Adam Gaudette's been a really good signing, guys, really good signings. But congrats. Misa continued, I thought, showed a lot of positive thing. You've been getting 1 or 2 of these really nice splash plays from Misa a night every time he plays. He's definitely kind of still in that, he was at 12:42 for ice time tonight. Celebrini played almost 23 minutes tonight, and Celebrini was freaking amazing tonight. But hopefully now he can continue to you gotta see those splash plays a little bit more frequently and stuff. And I think that's when you'll start to see some more of that ice time continue to grow, but nothing, from Misa where you feel like, he was not worthy of being in the lineup and should continue to be in the lineup. I would put him back in the lineup on Thursday against the Rangers, and then I assume the Devils game is probably where you pull him a little. You might pull him there, but Misa's line was really good tonight, and we'll talk about that here in a minute, as that third line with Graf and Gaudette were also doing really positive things tonight. But overall, I my biggest takeaway is, you dominated this Islanders team, a team that is in your, kind of region, or at least in the standings, and kind of in the same expectations as you. You dominated this team tonight, and you did everything that you could, everything except for get the win, right? And we saw this against the Penguins team, a team that's also kind of in the same, area of the standings, or projected area of the standings, right? And you outplayed the Penguins for a good chunk of that game, and you just couldn't score. Tonight you could score, you just couldn't get that one more to tie it up. This team is better than their record. I know fans don't want to hear that right now of a team that's 0-4-2. But the team I think, is better than their record. And I think at some point it has to balance out here. I trust the math. At some point, this thing has to balance out. So we're going to talk about the blue line here as Nick Leddy. I don't know, man. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about Sam Dickinson and his kind of bounce back after a horrible play. So we'll talk about him and why he continues to show growth and development, and what the Sharks should do with their blue line once they start to get a little bit healthier here. So we'll get to that in just 1 second. Let's be honest, most of us can't even name all of our financial accounts, let alone what we're worth between 401ks, savings, and investments. It's easy to lose track, and that can mean leaving money on the table. That's where Monarch Money comes in, an all-in-one personal finance tool that brings your entire financial life together in one clean, easy-to-use interface on your laptop or on your phone. It's great for organizing your accounts. You can track your spending, all without ever having to touch a spreadsheet. Spreadsheets are for nerds. And the great thing about it is you can also work with your partner, see your shared goals, make better financial decisions together. Monarch's visual dashboard and smart tools make it easy to understand where your money's going and how to make it work harder for you. It's like your own personal Puckpedia, people. Don't let financial opportunities slip through the cracks. Use code LOCKEDONNHL at monarch.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarch.com, code LOCKEDONNHL for half off your first year. Let's be real, making excuses doesn't solve anything. We've heard them all before. It's just stress. I'm tired. It happens to everyone sometimes, but when it comes to performance, sometimes your body just needs a little extra support. That's where Rougette comes in. Rougette.com offers fast-acting, doctor-prescribed treatments for ED designed to help you stop making excuses and start making moves. Rougette makes it easy to get started. You connect with a board-certified doctor 100% online. No awkward waiting rooms, no in-person appointments. If prescribed, your treatment ships straight to your door in discreet packaging. The process is fast, simple, and private. It's all handled by real doctors. Visit rugiet.com/lockedonnhl to get 15% off your first order. That's rugiet.com/lockedonnhl. And don't forget to use our code LOCKEDONNHL so that way they know that we sent you. Rougette, stop making excuses. Start making moves. All right, before we continue, of course want to thank you for making Locked On Sharks your first listen. If you haven't yet, perfect time to subscribe. We've had some great interviews so far this season. We had Max Heisey this week. Last week we had Christian Kirsch. We'll continue to have interviews sprinkled in throughout the regular season. Of course, we'll be covering prospects and our reactions to every Sharks game as well. So make sure you guys are following along wherever you get podcasts. And of course, you can watch on YouTube as well. All right, let's start with Dickinson, who, again, other than the one mistake, right? And like the penalty, like that's one of those where it's a one-on-one, like you're trying to stop a breakaway. Like, okay. And even then, you know, they're always going to give the benefit of the doubt to the forward there, right? So like, I don't even care about the penalty, but other than just serving up a giant pizza to Chisnik there, like Dickinson played really well. And you saw just his ability to bounce back from that bad play, right? Where literally, you know, a couple shifts later, he's, you know, makes a huge play, 100% deserved an assist on the Gaudette goal, but just didn't get it because he was the third or the fourth guy to touch the puck. But you just that kind of mental toughness to just kind of bounce back from that play. And, you know, credit to Warsofsky for not just gluing him to the bench in that situation. Granted, your blue line is a walking mash unit right now, and you don't really have much other choice than to play Dickinson. But like we've easily seen guys make that same type of mistake and then get glued to the bench. And Dickinson, I think he's continuing to gain the trust of the coaching staff slowly by slowly. He led the defenseman in shots with 3, and he's going to be getting that first point goal here really soon. You saw him jump up in the offensive play, make some smart plays as well there. You're seeing him gain more confidence in the offensive zone. It's hard for me to imagine him going back, even if he continues to the pace that he's playing. He's going to get better and better, and I wouldn't be surprised here in about a month or so if he is, kind of pushing that 18 to 20 minutes a night, and as he slowly gets more and more acclimated. And again, just that toughness, that mental ability to kind of compartmentalize the mistakes and not let them. And that's something we saw at London sometimes, where he would make a mistake, especially early in the season last year, and it would kind of snowball him and on him and turn into bigger mistakes. And you're seeing less and less of that. And I thought tonight, even in that first period, really big bounce back from him, and loved watching him play. Like he's going to be the Sharks' best defenseman sooner rather than later. And take that however you want, as if a 19-year-old guy is your best defenseman. But he's really coming along here. So Nick Leddy, though, on the other hand, another tough night from him tonight, especially on the penalty kill here, right? You saw where he doesn't stick with, and lets Bo Horvat kind of just left alone over there, and you don't really see the effort getting back from him. And even on the Schaefer goal, right? I mean, credit to Matthew Schaefer. Matthew Schaefer's turning out to be a superstar. But it's just that effort getting back. And you're supposed to be a veteran and a leader, and kind of showing how to play for these kids. And this is a guy just doesn't want to be here, right? And we talked about this, picking up a guy off waivers off of who clearly had you on his no trade clause, does not want to 100% does not want to be here. The Sharks are going to have to, once they get healthy here, they're going to have to make a move, right? When Klingberg comes back, and Liljegren, looks like he's practicing right now, the Sharks are going to have to make a move at some point, because Sam Dickinson, I think, has earned his right to be here for an extended period of time. And going back, as we've discussed a bajillion times, going back to London feels like a waste. If you can ship off Leddy somewhere, man, that feels like a win. Even if it's a future consideration, I don't care. I don't care what the return is. He's a guy who doesn't want to be here. He just clearly doesn't want to be here, and he's not making the team better tonight. Yeah. If it was me, right, and you're, again, as you start to kind of get healthy again here, and assuming, unfortunately, Cagnoni goes back to the AHL and spends time in the AHL, because I would just have Cagnoni up, because Cagnoni's awesome, and he's probably, honestly, one of your 6 best defensemen. But I think you have to continue to ride with Dickinson. Once Mukamadulin gets in there, I want Liljegren had a good start to his season. And I think Orlov's really started to kind of find his game over the past couple games here. And then, Klingberg, assuming Klingberg gets in, of course, because of what his role is on the team. I think you could do worse than that. And yes, Ferraro is going to be in there as well. But Ferraro's going to be in there, all the time. But there's enough there where I feel like this should start to gel and start to get a little bit better here, and maybe stop having so many of these mental lapses. But yeah, Nick Leddy, man, who could have seen this coming? Again, just if a guy has you on his no trade, he probably doesn't want to go there, and he's probably not he's just waiting to get off this team, unfortunately. And I think the Sharks should try to, as soon as they start to get healthy here, And again, if Liljegren's practicing, I don't know with Klingberg and Mukhamadullin kind of what their status. Of course, Klingberg's on the trip. Mukhamadullin is not on the trip, right? So would assume Klingberg's further along. But I think whatever it takes, and I'm sure he would waive his no trade clause to go to another team right now. I would be very much in the try to move off Nick Leddy here, because Nick Leddy does not want to be here. So we're going to dig into the numbers of this game some more, talk about how the Sharks were very unlucky, to be honest. So we'll get to that here in just 1 second. The NFL season is here, and FanDuel is an offer you don't want to miss. Right now, new customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet, put down $5, and if it hits, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. Great thing is they have so many different ways to play. You can do parlays. So if you think a series of things are going to happen, just pick the over for whatever team the Dolphins are playing. So like the Falcons, whatever the off, like just Falcons by 1 million in that game. So they have player props, and you can even follow live lines during the games. It makes watching football even more exciting when you got a little something riding on the action. Whether you're a casual fan or love diving into the stats, FanDuel makes the game day experience so much better. So what are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com to get started. Download the FanDuel app today and get started now. All right, before we finish up, do of course want to thank you for making Locked On Sharks your first listen. For your second listen, check out the all-new Locked On NHL Game Night. Every game, every night until a Stanley Cup champion is crowned. Get local analysis on national scale. Find NHL Game Night on Locked On NHL on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts. So, the Sharks were really good in this game. 47 minutes of 5-on-5 time. The Sharks shot attempts were 52-34 in favor of San Jose. Corsi forced 60.47 to 39.53. So the Sharks took almost 61% of the shot attempts. Actual shots on goal at 5-on-5, 29-18 in favor of San Jose. 62% of the shot attempts. Scoring chances, 29-15 in favor of San Jose. 18-7 high danger chances, 72% high dance chances for in favor of your San Jose Sharks. Expected goals for at 5-on-5, 3.11 to 1.33 in favor of your Sharks. Again, the Sharks, they did everything except for win this game, which is unfortunate. Looking at how the lines played tonight, so this is our chance to talk about every player here. Celebrini, Smith, Tofolli, the sleepover line, 13-30 of 5-on-5, 15-10 shot attempts, 9-4 actual shots, had a goal, 0.72 expected goals for to 0.07 expected goals allowed, 11-0 scoring chances. This line was absolutely on fire. Ryan Warsawski, do not touch a thing. Do not touch a thing with that line. Like, actually, he should just roll the same lines back, to be honest. But, yes. Eklund, Wenberg, Skinner played 10-16, 15-5 shot attempts, 8-4 actual shots. Did give up a goal, 0.22 to 0.17 expected goals for. 4-2 scoring chances, 1-1 high danger chances. So this line, a lot more volume than quality. Eklund continues to look really good, has some chances as well. Like, Eklund's got to bury one here soon. We've seen it with Eklund, right? He's very much a very streaky scorer. So once he gets one, it feels like he's going to get a bunch. Skinner had a couple opportunities as well, had a beautiful chance, like right, and just kind of shot it a little bit high. I think it was Goodrow who set him up on that one, if I recall. But yeah, Skinner, like, he's been very good as well. So Graf, Misa, Gaudette, 8:30. 5-on-5, 9-7 shot attempts, 4-5 actual shots. Had the goal, of course, beautiful goal from Gaudette from all three of those guys. Expected goals for 1 to 1.31, 5-5 scoring chances, 5-4 high danger chances. So this line very much quality from them. Graf was absolutely great tonight, right? Of course, he had the shorthanded goal, almost set up Dellandrea on a, almost returned the favor there on a penalty, like the next penalty kill opportunity. Misa, like we talked about, continues to show some flashes there. You see some of his plays. I don't think he really had like a negative play tonight, and he's going to continue to gain confidence as he goes forward. I still fully believe, like, in about a month or so, like when we start to get into kind of like Thanksgiving time, he's going to start to kind of find his legs and hit his stride. So, and then the Goodrow, Dellandrea, Ryan Reeves played 4-13, 3-3 shot attempts, 1-2 actual shots, no goals, 0.22 to 0.044 expected goal, 0.04, expected goals, 2-2 scoring chances, 2-0 high danger chances. Dellandrea has been, I think Dellandrea has really been very good for the Sharks this year. Right, you know what his role is. I think he knows what his role is. He's been excellent on the PK. Tonight was a huge part of that goal for Colin Graf. Like, kind of sold the puck and got it to him there. And that's how I would 100% roll these same lines again against the Rangers. So defensively, looking at how kind of the pairings looked, at least when it came to Corsi, so kind of driving shot attempts for the defensive pairs. So Orlov Ferraro led the way, 67.86%, 19-9. Corsi 4. Desharnais Dickinson. This pairing's been working out really well. 16-8 shot attempts. That's 66.67%. And then Leddy Iorio, 8-10, 44.44%. So, which was the worst. I mean, all the Isles guys are like below that, but I think this continues to show just how well the Sharks played tonight. And again, just could not figure this stupid thing out. They're going to get, like, people keep saying this team is worse than last year, and I'm probably going to do a deep dive at some point here, but like, I don't, like, this team is just they just can't get out of their own way. So like they unfortunately cannot get out of their own way. And then of course Askarov tonight, who again I feel like out of all the goals, the third one was the one where he probably wants back. But like the other goals were like legit goals, and like some of them you can't ask for more. He did have a really nice save on a breakaway there as well. Askarov, who faced 27 shots, made 23 saves, had 4 goals allowed, expected goals against 3.99. So, Askarov saved the goals that he like. So basically, if Askarov had stopped the one where he should have not been a goal, where he was clearly going to cover the puck and just didn't do it in time, and then he doesn't save the breakaway, like, it's, you know what I'm saying. Anyway, he faced 11 high danger shots, 8 high danger saves. 3 of his goals were all high danger, 6 of 7 on mid danger, and then 5 of 5 on low danger. So like Askarov was facing a lot of like very much some high quality opportunities from the Isles. Would you like a save? Occasionally, yes. Was he the reason they lost tonight? No, I don't think. I think Askarov played pretty well tonight, to be honest. So, but that's gonna be it. We'll be back tomorrow. I think we're actually gonna be I'll be doing a crossover with John from the Rangers. So we'll talk Sharks Rangers. We'll still have a preview on Thursday where we'll kind of dive a little bit more into it. So make sure you guys are following along wherever you get podcasts. And of course, you can watch on YouTube as well. Follow the show on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and on TikTok at Locked On Sharks. Follow me on Twitter and Blue Sky at My Fry Hole. Until tomorrow. Bye, friends.